Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, where we will explore one of the ocean's wonders, the giant tuna weighing up to 300 kilograms. This tuna will become the most amazing dish you've ever tasted, but to create such dishes, we need to start with a meticulous and detailed cutting process. Imagine standing before a massive, lively tuna and witnessing an exciting journey from when the tuna is brought into the restaurant to when it's transformed into exquisite dishes like sashimi and sushi. And don't worry, I'll share all the secrets of how we do this. Tuna. The name might sound ordinary, but when you see a full-grown tuna, you'll immediately understand why it's called the king of the ocean. They can grow up to 3 meters long and weigh as much as 450 kilograms, a size so massive that even weightlifting champions would be in awe. Imagine running into a giant tuna out in the sea, and you wouldn't know if it's a fish or a miniature submarine drifting by. And to cut such a gigantic tuna, you can't just use an ordinary kitchen knife. Specialized knives, the ones you see in sushi restaurants, are the perfect tools for the job. You think cutting vegetables or beef is hard? Try slicing through tuna meat as thick as your hand, and you'll see what I mean by a trusted ally of a sharp knife. Just one precise cut, and you'll separate the fresh, tender meat as if you're dividing pure gold. Cutting tuna isn't just a task, it's an art, and I'm sure sushi chefs could write an entire book on how to cut a tuna without damaging it. Now, it's time to get into the real work. When you stand in front of a 300-kilogram tuna, the task is not just about cutting. It's a true art form. This giant tuna requires precision, patience, and a bit of skill to ensure that nothing goes wrong. First, we begin by lightly cutting the top fin. You'll see, with just a gentle stroke of the knife, the top fin of the tuna will be removed without damaging any of the meat. It's like trimming a work of art. Just a delicate touch, and it's done. Next comes the tricky part, cutting the belly. A long, specialized knife is essential here. As you cut into the tuna's belly, you'll feel the pull of the meat. A little strength, a little technique, and it's done. But if the cutting force isn't enough, don't worry. The support team will tap the knife's spine with a small hammer. It's like playing a team sport where no one wants to give up. A light tap, and you'll easily complete this belly section. Now we start dividing the tuna into larger parts. Cut 1/3 of the body, not because we're lazy to cut it all at once, but to make it easier to divide the meat later. The tuna's meat is very firm, and when you cut it, you'll feel the elasticity of the glossy muscle fibers. It's like cutting through a 3D painting. After completing the body, the next step is slitting half of the tail. This is a part that requires absolute precision. When you cut the tail section, you must be careful not to break the meat, as this part is perfect for grilling or steaming. Slice half the tail, and then continue cutting the remaining parts until you've divided the tuna into manageable portions. And now, the cutting doesn't stop here. Next, we cut the fish and handle the bones. You'll need to cut along the tuna's spine, removing the large bones to reveal the fresh, delicious meat. The bones are not wasted though. They will be used for tuna soup or rich fish broths. Each cut you make is another chance to appreciate the value in every part of the fish. Once the bones are dealt with, it's time to separate the fresh tuna meat. The tuna's flesh is stunning, like glossy gemstones full of life. With each slice of meat, you can feel the refinement that nature has gifted us. Tuna meat isn't just tasty, it's also highly nutritious. And as you separate it into individual portions, you'll see it like precious gems, waiting to be turned into the perfect dish. The tuna loin, typically kept intact for sashimi or sushi, is the most flavorful and has a very special texture. The belly part, with its smooth, fatty meat, is perfect for grilling, steaming, or simmering, preserving its natural tenderness and richness. After the meat is separated, it will be immediately refrigerated to preserve its freshness and amazing flavor. This is what makes the difference between an ordinary meal and an
이게 잘리는데 살짝 밀어줘. 올려주고. 조선 발주 들어갔고.
Cutting a giant tuna is no easy task. And did you know that the technique of cutting tuna has not just been invented recently? This method has a long history, passed down through many generations, especially in Japan's culinary culture. You've probably heard of sashimi and sushi, right? And did you know that to get those perfect pieces of sashimi, there's a highly meticulous and intricate tuna cutting technique, one that even the most seasoned chefs must practice for years? In the past, Japanese fishermen developed a traditional method of cutting tuna known as kurabuta, dating back to when they began catching tuna as food for the community. They not only learned how to use sharp knives to cut the fish, but also how to distinguish the different parts of the fish to make the most of the value from these giant tunas. That's right, the loin, the belly, and the fins all have their own value and must be cut properly. A slight mistake in the cut not only wastes the fish, but also loses the essence of the dish. Today, specialized knives have been improved and refined even more. The sashimi knife, which you'll see in sushi restaurants, has become an essential tool in handling these massive tunas. These master chefs use the knife to cut paper-thin slices of meat, making sure each piece of tuna retains its fresh flavor without being torn apart. This process is like carving a piece of art, where each cut is not just a slice, but a stroke of perfection.
야, 키크 케이블에서 사진 와 있었네. 한번 놓치니까 위가 안 보이는 거야.
Like a time machine, the technique of cutting tuna has been passed down through generations of chefs, from the first apprentices who learned the craft from Japanese fishermen to the modern chefs of today. Each generation has contributed its own touch of mastery to the art, making the tuna cutting technique more refined and precise with time, while modern processing technologies have made tuna preservation and cutting easier. The meticulousness and precision of each slice remain unchanged. Chefs still need years of practice to feel the texture of each tuna fillet, learning how to create sashimi pieces that are as beautiful as a painting, with perfect thinness and glossy shine. But don't think that just having a sharp knife is enough. Chefs must differentiate between the various parts of the fish, knowing which section has the best meat for sashimi, which part is ideal for other dishes, and where the fins and bones are, so they can be used to create rich fish broths. This is the art of classification, and not everyone can master it right away. What's fascinating is that within the art of cutting tuna, there's a special respect for what's shown good history and traditional techniques. Japanese chefs don't just cut fish to sell, they're preserving a precious culinary heritage that their ancestors have developed over centuries. These techniques aren't easy to learn, and it certainly takes years of training to truly capture the essence of the craft. In culinary schools in Japan, learning to cut tuna is not just a professional skill, but also a part of the cultural legacy. Every time a new generation of chefs completes their training, they don't just learn to cut fish, but they also learn to honor the profession, celebrate the tuna, and connect with the ocean. These chefs, much like guardians of a culinary tradition, Bring the art of tuna preparation to life through every slice of fish, every piece cut to perfection, delivering magnificent dishes to the world.
이게 뭐야?
이걸 주고
한 마리 3kg인가? 네, 안녕하십니까. 네. 저 혹시 킹크랩 배가 나왔나요? 그래가지고
이건 키로 4kg
한번 더 하자. 안 돼. 혼자 하세요, 혼자 또. 아, 나 진짜 씨, 한달 진짜 씨. 성우한테 찔러본다 씨. 성우 나 얼마 치는데. 들어와, 성우.
Looking at the glossy tuna meat, it shines like precious gemstones. And you'll understand why tuna is often called the gold of the ocean. These meat slices aren't just the result of meticulous preparation. They are a magnificent gift from the sea to mankind. When you eat a piece of fresh tuna sashimi, you're not just tasting a dish, you're experiencing a long story about the power of nature, about brave fishermen, and their long journeys full of challenges. Tuna, with its agility and strength, embodies perfection in the world of seafood. Each piece of meat is part of the long journey the fish has gone through, from being born in far-off ocean waters to becoming the high-end dish that you now enjoy.
정말 이렇게 때리면 안 되나? 4kg. 1번 4.
지금 그럼 주토로가 6kg, 5kg, 3kg, 5kg, 9kg. 하나, 6kg 하나, 5kg, 3kg 하나. 5kg.
이렇게 들어가니까. 너무, 너무. 시간적 이상해. 그냥 묵직하네. 그리고 저기 아까 위에서 하나 빼고. 아까 밑에 빼야 돼. 자, 갑시다. 못 믿겠어. 아, 밀어요. 아, 그래, 나가시는데. 온 김에. 조금만 치고요. 치고. 여기는 그냥 치고 마시면 제일 비싸고. 이거 갖다 담아.
Tuna, did you know, isn't just a big fish, but also a swimming athlete. Tuna can swim up to speeds of 75 kilometers per hour, fast enough that if tuna competed in a running race, it would probably be an Olympic athlete. This not only helps tuna hunt prey, but also allows them to easily traverse vast areas of the ocean. Speaking of habitats, tuna don't just swim near the shore. They primarily live in deep sea regions with cold water and strong currents, places where only the fastest, most agile tuna can survive. And when it comes to reproduction, tuna is one of the most prolific fish, with a single female tuna capable of laying millions of eggs each year. So you could say that tuna are the superstars of the ocean's reproductive world. The nutritional value of tuna is undeniable. Tuna meat is a rich source of protein and omega-3, which is excellent for health. It helps build muscles, maintain heart health, and support brain function. Tuna-based dishes, especially sashimi and sushi, are always a great choice for those who love fresh, tasty, and nutritious food. Tuna also has significant economic value. It's not just consumed in high-end restaurants, but also exported to countries with developed seafood markets like Japan, the United States, and Europe. Tuna even provides a decent income for fishermen who work hard year-round to catch these magnificent creatures from the ocean. So now you've explored the entire process of cutting a giant tuna, from the first cuts to when it becomes an exquisite dish at a restaurant. Can you imagine each piece of tuna sashimi is not just an ordinary dish, but a journey full of challenges and passion? Try enjoying a piece of fresh tuna sashimi again, and not only taste the flavor, but also feel the effort behind each meticulous cut. If you enjoy stories about careers and delicious dishes like this, don't forget to share this video and hit follow so you won't miss more wonderful culinary journeys.
I love sushi. It's one of my favorite foods, but I truly believe that leading to the extinction of a
Sushi is bluefin tuna.